We have big changes in Season 4 of this My Team career mode. Charles Leclerc is my new teammate. Christian Lundgaard takes over for Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes, going straight in at the deep end. Robert Schwartzman has moved to Ferrari. And you've got Guan Yu Zhou and Callum Ilott, now Williams drivers. And as we scroll up, there is another huge change, and that is that George Russell now partners Max Verstappen at Red Bull. So quite a lot of changes there. So it's now time to begin Season 4. And this is my new car. Alright, so that is the car that I will be driving for Season 4. We've gone for a much more basic livery. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot and I forgot to add the sponsors, so it will be looking blank for this first weekend of career mode. But here you can see it in action. It looks pretty much like a more basic version of what I had for Season 3, but I quite like it. The other change is that Red Bull are now back to their much more traditional livery. Right then, let's get underway. We want to start where we finished off. No, I don't mean third. We want to go for the win here. We are defending a World Drivers' Championship, and I am wanting to win the Constructors' Championship. And I feel like with this lineup of myself and Leclerc, that is something we can achieve. So obviously Charles getting tired that he hasn't had the success he wanted in Ferrari, and he has decided to join our team. Q1 we've got through quite comfortably. Q2, again, we are nicely through, but I'm not too sure if that lap is good enough, so I was going to go again, but I've got Yuki Tsunoda here holding me up. He came out of the pits as I started the lap, and that's really not helpful whatsoever, Yuki. Thank you so much for that. That is appreciated, but we have managed to get through and we're still just about somehow quicker on this lap. So I must have really messed up the lap before, because that's already a quicker lap. And what's it gonna be? That puts us in second and we are comfortably through Q2. So next up we will have Q3 and Christian Lundgaard getting through in the Mercedes in his first race, as does Robert Schwartzman in his first race for Ferrari, so he's looking pretty handy there too. It is pole position then for our teammate Leclerc in his debut for Joe H2O Racing, and I am alongside. It is a Joe H2O Racing front row lockout. And Christian Lundgaard really impressing with fourth on the grid.
As we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We go racing today around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and Joker completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Lundgaard, Carlos Sainz and Russell, Gasly, Bottas, Schwartzman and Daniel Ricciardo, Norris, Tsunoda, Sebastian Vettel and Ocon, Stroll, Joe, Callum Ilott and Mick Schumacher, Latifi, Giovinazzi, Mazepin and Artem Markelov. That's it then.
A whole new era of Formula 1 is about to begin, and it begins now. It is lights out, and away we go. And Leclerc's got a great jump on me at the start. I've gone to cover Verstappen, but Verstappen has got me. And Carlos Sainz making an absolute dream of a start as we lunge into turn 1 and nearly smash into my teammate. Carlos Sainz moving up to 4th at the start there. And you can see I dive down the inside and nearly whack into my teammate, but it gets me past Sainz and it gets me past not Leclerc, Verstappen, and we are moved up into P2. Meanwhile, at the back, there is a Williams who has caused himself damage. I'm not sure which one that is. And there's an Alpine that's struggling to thread his way through that we currently ride on board with. But Leclerc leads the way. I'm in second and Verstappen's trying to go around the outside. He's tagged me there. And wow, I was moving across, not aware of the momentum Max had there. He really just gained sudden momentum out of nowhere. And we've tagged. Verstappen's gone wide. He's lost a couple of places. So at the moment then, it is Leclerc leading at the end of lap 1. I am second. Sainz is third. Gasly is fourth. Verstappen is currently in P5, but I believe he's done damage there. And I have to say, I wasn't aware he was trying to get alongside there, but that was a move that was never going to work. Just the sheer momentum he had, he just came at me in a way I wasn't expecting. And Schwartzman now moves up to 5th in his debut race for Ferrari. Unfortunately for him, however, though, he's got a 5-second time penalty. So that might just knock him out the points a little bit later on. Leclerc sets the fastest lap then, and is beginning to stretch a lead on me here. So I need to find a little bit more pace in order to keep up with him. Leclerc just getting away from me. But I'm also getting away from Carlos Sainz, who's in P3. And the two Joe H2O cars are just stretching it out front. And Sainz and Gasly are getting very close now. I feel this might become a battle in the next lap or two. Gasly had a brilliant Season 3 and he wants to start Season 4 in the same light. He goes down the inside. Can Carlos cover for the outside? He's got the inside for the left-hander and Gasly tries to go for it, but Carlos shuts the door in his face. No move there. Next lap now. Gasly's going around the outside. He'll have the inside here, but Carlos just able to shut the door on him. Gasly now tucking back into the slipstream. He's going to have a look for the next corner. He tucks out of the slipstream. He's going to try and go around the outside of Carlos Sainz. Gasly not letting this one go easy at all. And he's got the move done. What a move by Pierre Gasly to take P3 here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. I tell you what, that AlphaTauri again looking like a rocket in the hands of Pierre Gasly, doing a brilliant job moving up into P3 in this Bahrain Grand Prix. But meanwhile, the top 5 are static, but I'm now starting to just close in on Leclerc just a little bit now. So the gap is starting to come down. Meanwhile, we've got Schwartzman, I think Lundgaard and Russell having a little battle amongst themselves there. That looked like contact there between the Ferrari and the Mercedes, but both Lundgaard and Russell are able to get past the Ferrari and up positions. Right, time to make our first pit stop then, and we've come out just ahead of Guan Yu Zhou, which I am very much grateful for, and we're behind Stroll and Ocon, and that's a yellow flag. That's a slowing AlphaTauri. That is Pierre Gasly. That's such a shame. He was doing so well, looking so good in this race, but that car has grinded to a halt. Meanwhile, some of the rest of the field are starting to make their first pit stops. And that is Charles Leclerc coming out of the pits. We pitted a lap before him. And as a result, we have got the undercut on our teammate. And we have now taken what should be the effective race lead, depending on whether some of these are one-stopping or not. Right, down the inside of Lance Stroll. But we've locked up. We've gone wide. Me and Stroll are now alongside each other, side by side. I should back out of this one. I have backed out of this one, and Leclerc now, I think he's just gone into me. I think he's gone into me because he arrived, suddenly got very close, and went a bit wide. I think he might have just tagged me. I will have to have a look at that later. I think Leclerc has tagged me. Now, though, we're getting onto the back of Lance Stroll for P6. This is deja vu, isn't it? Overtaking Lance Stroll in Bahrain goes all the way back to Season 1. But we've got the move done on him. Next up is Esteban Ocon. Stroll trying to come back at me here. but I've already gone a little bit defensive and indicated that that is not happening. And Leclerc is making a pit stop, so yes, he must have gone into me and damaged his car. That is rotten luck for the Monegasque driver, for my teammate in his first race with the team. He seemed to just misjudge where he was and he just went into me. Right. Vettel and Ocon now battling over fourth, but I'm getting involved. I'm diving up the inside. I've missed my braking spot and gone wide, and Ocon's just said, you know what, thank you very much, I'll take that straight back. But I'm now coming straight back at Ocon. I'm going to dive up the inside, and this time I'm not going to go too deep. I'm going to keep the position. Ocon trying to get an up and under on me there, but that's not happening. We've covered him. Oh, Ocon's gone down the inside there! I did not see that coming. I've got it really sideways, and I've managed to get back past Ocon in getting it sideways. What a sequence of events that was. Ocon diving down the inside of that awkward double left. I nearly lose it trying to get my line back, and Ocon gets a bad exit out of the corner, and I'm able to take him. Extraordinary. Right, down the inside of Sebastian Vettel. This is for P4. We've got Sebastian Vettel and George Russell doing an impressive job in Red Bull, setting the fastest lap. That's good going for him. Right, next up is Daniel Ricciardo. Then up ahead is Yuki Tsunoda. I don't know who's leading the way, but we're going to try and go around the outside of Ricciardo there. Nope, not going to work. Right, we've got Ricciardo pitting, so that puts paid to that. It's Lando Norris leading the way out front then. I'm in P2 and I'm catching Norris, so the one-stoppers are now starting to make their stops. They're going to go on to hard tyres, though. Meanwhile, we're watching, I think it's George Russell making a place on Carlos Sainz. And that is exactly what we're watching. So Sainz, he was in a strong position earlier in the race, but he seems to have dropped back. Right, we're now leading the way, and we've gone round! We've hit that curb, that lethal inside curb of Bahrain, and it has put me into a spin, but I have recovered the car without losing anything. Just a few seconds of time there. But wow, we made that mistake of hitting that inside curb. That curb is lethal. But thankfully we haven't lost too much time. But what I have done is pitted for a second set of the medium tyres. So we are now going to the end of this race. And Schwartzman and Ricciardo are dead ahead. And I believe Schwartzman has to stop again. Ricciardo doesn't. So we are now in hunt of the rest of the pack. Some of them have one stopping, some of them are two. Right, we're now up with Daniel Ricciardo. This should be a straightforward move. I'm going to try and get it done down the inside of the right-hander. It's one of my favourite overtaking moves at Bahrain, and we have got that done. Tsunoda and Norris are next, and Lando's giving Tsunoda some trouble. And I think there's someone ahead of Tsunoda who needs to pit again. I believe it might be Russell, so... And in fact, they have stopped, and Tsunoda's now leading the way. I'm going down the inside of Lando Norris for P2. Making Lando come a little bit wide there in the process. But Yuki Tsunoda for AlphaTauri is the race leader. I've gone deep there. And Lando Norris is going to try and find a way back past. We're going to cover. But Lando's not in a rush to make that move. He's not going to do anything silly. Right, coming into the left-hander. Oh, I've gone deep! I've gone very deep there and not made the corner. I'm going to try and rejoin. Lando's now on my left. I'm on the right. I'm going in very tight. Oh, no, I've hit that curb again. Round it goes. And I think Lando Norris went off with me. That's the second time I have done that in this race. And yet, Lando Norris getting caught up in my incident there. You can see it there. I've gone and... Okay, no, Lando just went off by himself there. From what it looks like, Lando just had his own complete own incident. So, I don't know on that one. But now we've got to re-catch Tsunoda and Ricciardo. 6.5 seconds to catch in 7 laps. Can we do it? I'm thinking and hoping we can. And that fastest lap isn't going to do me any harm at all in my attempts to catch up. Right, first up is Daniel Ricciardo. 3 seconds behind him. I am going full beans now. No more mistakes in this race. I've already made 2 big ones. And here we are behind Ricciardo. And I think this just showcases how OP my car has become. Because Ricciardo taking the inside line. I've gone round the outside. Sweeped round. We've now got 5 laps to go. And Tsunoda is only 3 seconds ahead. So clearly those hard tyres are holding him up. You see me there going round the outside of Ricciardo. That's a beautiful move, actually. That is a very beautiful move. I'm proud of that one. And we have caught Tsunoda on the next lap. So we have caught him up very, very quickly. His hard tyres obviously not running very quickly for him. We are on medium tyres and I am going full beans. This car is just ridiculously OP. I am loving this car. Right, we've got Mick Schumacher in the way of us here. We need to get Mick out of the way. Tsunoda laps him and Mick stays out the way of us. But this is going to be it. The move for the lead. I am in Tsunoda's DRS. We've got overtake. Let's do this. Let's blast past this AlphaTauri. Tsunoda is... Well, we've not quite got the momentum on him that we'd like. And Tsunoda goes to cover the inside. We're going to try and take the outside here. And is it the move done? Yes, it is. We have now passed the AlphaTauri driver. Tsunoda was probably hoping to take this win. He's coming back at us, though. He's going to go down the inside. We have to leave him space. As Yuki Tsunoda has that look, but he then backs out of it. And we resume the lead. Unlucky Tsunoda. That was a great effort there to maintain the lead. But for round 1 in Season 4, it looks like somehow, despite the double spin, we are going to take the win. And what a race it's been. We started second alongside Leclerc, had an incident with Verstappen. Leclerc went into me and ended up having to pit. We had one spin here, then we had a second when I was trying to get past Lando Norris taking the tight line. Unfortunately, I went round and I think Lando either got tagged or he had his own little incident. I'm not sure which one, but Season 4 is starting on the highest note possible. And for the first time in this career mode, we take the first win of the season at the first race. Get in! Let's start the season as we mean to go on, by winning.
Smiling faces on the pit wall after a superb win here at Sakhir. And rightly so. What a brilliant effort from the whole team. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Here comes your top 3 making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula One.
Tsunoda looking happy enough with P2 there, and AlphaTauri once again super quick. I really feel like they will be there or thereabouts again this season. But it is a win for me, and I'm happy to take the win. I'm gutted that my teammate isn't on the podium with me, but he still made a good comeback to finish P9 in the end. But it's myself, Tsunoda and Ricciardo making up an unlikely top 3 of the first race. Then it's Russell, Stroll, Lundgaard doing impressively well in his first race for Mercedes, and out-racing his teammate Valtteri Bottas. Sainz is 7th, Bottas, Leclerc in 9th, and Ocon scoring the final point for Alpine. Meanwhile, we're going to have a look at what happened with Leclerc, and it looks like, yeah, he's gone wide, and then he's got into me. So, he misjudged where I was going, went in too quick, and as a result, he's tagged me and damaged his wing. I can't say I did anything wrong there. But there you go. That's the standings of the first race, and we get the fastest lap point as well. It's a perfect start to Season 4. Can we carry on like this? Well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you're new and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, I've been Joe. Thank you for watching. TTFN, guys. Ta-ta for now.